So in R, there's a thing called a package. So there are certain functions like mean and standard deviation and read.csv. When you download, like I showed you earlier, R onto your computer, it automatically puts certain functions on R. However, R is open source, like I said, so it's free, and individuals in the community, the R community, can add packages into the R, they call it the CRAN. It's basically where all these packages are stored. So they can add their own packages into basically what everybody can use in R. One of them is called Psych package. That's the one I'm going to use as the example today. So when I install packages, this Psych is going to allow me to use a function that is not automatically stored in R when you download it in the first place. So this was probably created by an R user. One thing to keep in mind, since this is open source, R does do a pretty good job of vetting different packages and making sure that they make sense and aren't riddled with errors before they allow someone to make a package and post it for everyone to use. But these are open source and they might miss some of those issues. So everything, often packages, like it'll have a lot of information online. If you look at their help file, I'm going to actually show this. So if I go in Psych package R, you can look, and that'll usually be the first or second choice. You can look at this. It's going to show this package Psych, and it's going to show every single function that is available in the Psych package. So all of these are available in that package. So if you wanted to use, what we're going to use today is describe by. We're going to use this one. So if I want to know exactly what that, it will take us down. This will be the help file, but this shows it all in one place. So I recommend every time you use something new, read this and make sure it makes practical sense, in that you're actually getting what you think you're getting. So, and to get to that, you can also use that question mark.help. When you're installing packages, you'll use the install.packages. Notice that there's an S, it's plural. And it's install, not installed. It does not have an ED at the end. So you use exactly this, and then put Psych package in. So you'll do parentheses here, and you always have to put it in quotes for the install packages. And then you'll put the name of the package in the middle. I do not recommend copying and pasting this into R directly. You're probably, some of you are going to try that, so I'm going to show you what it does. So say I do this, this will not run. It's seeing this as an error. So PowerPoint automatically changes the quotes, like the format of the quotes, and they're not plain text anymore. Is in here is plain text. You don't really need to know what that means, but if you copy and paste this, you're going to see that is it's showing that there is an unexpected token, meaning there's an error in here. So if I do install.packages and type it out, you'll see that these quotes look different than these quotes. So I don't recommend, and then this will say, it's not like it won't work because it doesn't know what this is. So if you copy and paste anything with quotes, you'll have to change them by hand. But this is how you would install the Psych package. I'm not going to run this because if I do, I already have it installed on my computer and it's not going to work. So that's the other thing. You have to install packages one time. Now you have to load packages every single time that you use them. So say you close your R window and then reopen it. You will have to load, which is the library, parentheses, and Psych, every time you close your R Studio console. So this happens every time. This happens once. So since I only have to run this once, I'm going to comment this out. And actually, this is lower down. I was just showing an example. So this is what we're going over first. So just comment it out because I don't need to run it again. But you, if you have never used the psych package before, you will have to use that. And then every time I close my R, I have to run the library function. Notice this is not in quotes. I know that's confusing, and I do not know why they do that. So that's how you install and load packages. Are there any questions? All right. Say you see an error that looks like this. Okay, I'm using R Oracle as an example because it's the best example and the most commonly used package that has this problem. If you see an error like this, configuration failed and had a non-zero exit status, this means that the package that you're trying to use has a dependency. So in R Oracle's case, you have to have R tools installed on your computer. I believe you have to have dev tools installed on your computer, and you have to have Java installed on your computer, and a whole there are more. It's like has 5 different dependencies. If you do not have them on your computer already, R Oracle will not install. I got a lot of questions because students would try to load certain packages and they would see this, and then they wouldn't know what to do. If you see this, Google your error, just like you have here. I would Google failed. I would Google that error. I would look online, and it'll tell you what the problem is for R Oracle. It'll say you need X, Y, and Z in order for R Oracle to work. But I wanted to point that out because it's something that students ran into quite frequently. So these are commonly used packages that I use very frequently. ggplot is the graphing package in R that is really customizable and useful. I'll have a class on that alone. dplyr is for data manipulation, joining, for like creating variables, for filtering your data, for selecting a smaller number of variables in your data set. So that's what dplyr is used for. String R is text manipulation. Data table is one that is so useful if you're using really massive data sets. This is the fastest package to use in almost every case. So say an example, I had 5 million observations in a data set in R recently. I used data table in order to write or export my data. If I use write.csv that I just showed you how to use to export a data set that large, it would probably take maybe 5 minutes, to be honest, if you have 5 million observations. If you use the data table version, it will be done in 1 or 2